Hello, my name is Fernando Gabriel Ramirez Michel and I'm going to present to you the Project Management Plan or PMP of my project, which is AM and FM radios for selling. First we have the project charter, which is basically just general information about the project and who approves the project. Here we have the name of the project, FM radios, AM, the client, 1 week, the director, which is me, Fernando Ramirez, the beginning and or the startup date of the project, June 6, the end date of the project, August 15, the inversion or the whole budget needed for the project, around 150,000 pesos. Description: to build AM/FM radios and then sell it as a product. We just need to buy the parts and assemble them together. Objective: to gain more than the initial budget. Deliverables: initial prototype, sales info, reviews, high-level milestones. To build 15 radios in a month, to sell 10 radios the next month, to sell 25 radios the next month, to sell all 50 radios the next month, to have to make more radios. Restrictions and assumptions: to run out of budget, already existing radio competition, permits, etc. Approval from the client, Juan Witt, and director Fernando Ramirez. Then we have the stakeholder matrix, which is how we categorize our stakeholders by giving them title, role in the project, requirements and expectations, concerns and issues, potential influence and supporter type. Okay, so first we have Fernando, which is the owner and project director. His role in the project is to manage the store, requirements and expectations, keeping up with customers, suppliers, employees and lenders, concerns and issues, not assessing the management in time, potential influence, high, supporter type, supporter. Then we have Carlos, which is a supplier. He's a supplier of electronics. His expectations is selling the supplies to us at a lower price. Concerns and issues: bad batches or losing them as a supplier. Potential influence: high, supporter type, neutral. Then we have Roberto, which is a lender. He's a sponsor as a role in the project. His expectations are approving such lends. Issues or concerns: to losing them as investors. Potential influence: high, supporter type, neutral. Then we have Juan. He's a customer. His role in the project is being a customer or a reviewer. Requirements and expectations: to buy from us, to leave good reviews. Concerns and issues: leave bad reviews or giving bad reputation. Potential influence: medium, supporter type, supporter. And then we have Rodrigo, an employee that helps with managing the store, requirements and expectations, checking the profile or the Amazon profile, answer the customers, concerns and issues, or helping with the store. Potential influence, low, supporter type, neutral. Then the next document, the WBS. Here we analyze the different phases that the project goes through. So first we have the design phase. So first we follow a guide to make radios. Then we make a list of the materials needed. Then we see from a supplier the parts needed. Then we buy the materials, and then we build a prototype radio and see if changes are needed. Then we pass to the next phase, which is the final build, in which we have in which we will try to have all the products needed for the next step or phase. Okay, so first we have to get more material from the supplier. Then we make the 50 radios, and then we set the radios as available to the public to sell them online on the Amazon profile. Okay, so the next step or phase, we have the selling phase. First we make ads, then we make online accounts for selling Amazon, and then we get feedback from what sells and reviews. This is already assuming that we are already selling, and to order new products according to feedback, and to listen to customers and get good reputation as sellers. Okay, so next we have the schedule or the schedule of the project. In here we analyze the duration of the phases discussed in the WBS document. So the first phase, the designing and planning phase, and the second phase, the final build, will be worked and completed in June. So the first week, the second week, the third week, and the fourth week. By the end of it, they will be completed in June. And the selling phase will be start at the end of June and will be worked upon on July all the way to August. That's the schedule. Okay, so now we have the budget document. In here, we're going to analyze the same phases of the WBS, but now we're going to add the budget needed for each resource type, and we categorize the resource types of the steps or phases with staff, materials or equipment, and infrastructure and technology. Okay, so first the staff phase, the staff type. Here we have electronic engineers, director assistant, director and designer, and the director. They will be paid per day. They will work according to the schedule, and each of them have different pays, and the total budget of the staff will be 52,000 pesos. Then we have the resource type, materials or equipment. So here we're putting the materials that we needed for the radios. So here we have resistors, capacitors, inductors, motherboards, switches, antennas. There will be bulbs per batch, the amount needed. So we wanted 50 radios and another 10 for just in case. The unit cost and the total cost. So the material budget will be around 54,000 pesos, and the resource type of infrastructure and technology. Here we have the Amazon profile and the warehouse delivery services. They will be paid per month. Amount, we have 2 months. Unit cost, here we have 800 pesos, and total cost 1000 pesos and 600. Then the work building, again, per month, 2 months, 4,000 pesos, the cost of the unit, and the total cost will be 8,000. So the infrastructure and technology budget will be around 9,600 pesos. So the whole project budget will be around 150,000 pesos. Okay, so next we have the risk plan, in which we analyze the different or possible events that could happen in the project, them being good or bad. So yeah, we analyze what can go different than planned, what would be its effects on the project, them being positive or negative, their probability, impact, and whole punctuation. They're analyzed as this, and we mark them with an X if we want to escalate them, avoid them, transfer them, accept them, or mitigate them, and how to prevent them or fix them. Okay, so first we have if the components both are faulty, what would be its effects on the project? Well, there will be faulty or not working radios, would mean bad products or bad reviews. That's clearly a negative, so we marked it with an X. There is a probability of 0.1, an impact of 6.5, and as a whole, that's a punctuation of 6.6. We clearly want to avoid and or mitigate this situation, and to prevent it, we want to buy the components from a good vendor with good reputation, or check the components on site before buying them. Then we have that the radios don't sell as much. That would mean no profit, so that is clearly a negative. As a probability, we have 0.3, impact 7.0, and punctuation 7.3. We can't do much to that, so we just accept that situation. But what we can do to prevent it is to have better and more advertisement, getting a better reputation. Then we have getting bad reviews. What will be its effects on the project? Bad reputation will mean people will avoid the project. It is clearly a negative, so we mark it with an X. It has a probability of 0.3, impact of 7.0, and a punctuation of 7.3. We clearly want to mitigate it, so to prevent it, we have quality control on the product, correct and true advertisement, hearing the customers, and then we have selling everything. We would need to get more product. That will be its effects. So this is clearly a positive event. The probability of it happening is a 0.1. The impact is 9.5. The punctuation 9.6. And since we want it to happen, it's clearly an escalate situation. And how to fix the situation, we want to get more radios ready. Okay, so these are the three questions that I picked. First we have, what could you apply from this subject in your work life or in your student life? Well, I think that from this class I learned how to make documents to organize what is needed for a project. So I think I will make such documents for my projects or my life in general. For example, the budget one is an important or very efficient way to categorize such information. Then we have, do you think that English is important for your working life? Yes, yes it is. It is very important because it opens us the possibility to work with people from all over the world and also the United States and such places. Then we have, do you think your project can be something really viable? Well, I don't think so because what what we what I first saw in the project is that it's too expensive, at least for now, for me. And the way that I put the materials and the stuff in it is too expensive. So I don't think it's something viable to do at the moment. Maybe if I search for more cheaper components, maybe that way could be made more viable to do. But yeah, it's not that viable for me to do right now. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.